on YouTube. Oh my God, it never gets old.
No, it does not.
We are live on YouTube. Hi everyone, hi everyone. We appreciate you being here. I'm Limor. This is Marnie. Marnie, say hi.
Hi.
Yeah. If you're familiar with our lives, welcome back. If you're not familiar with our lives, we talk about like everything, like spirituality related, relationship with ourselves, relationship with others. We talk about
Hmm.
all the emotional stuff, people pleasing, needing external validation, low self esteem, and whatnot. So, this is your safe place. We can talk about everything as long as it's legal, right? So, this is your safe place. Feel free to ask questions. If you're watching the live, feel free to ask questions. If you're watching the replay, put your question in the comments and we'll be happy to answer them. Okay,
Exactly.
today's topic is: Are you feeling a deep void? Mm-mm. We
Hmm.
all do, unfortunately, from time to time, right? So, do you sometimes feel like a deep void, like literally in your stomach, and no matter what you do, it always comes back. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
We try
this
to
is a
get rid
big
of
one.
it. Yeah, for a while, we feel better for a while, and then the same old thing, right? Manny, what do you think about this topic?
So this one is well timed and it's a big one because I know some of the other lives that we've done have addressed something that we call the void, and it
Yes,
does have some different meanings and some different phases. So in this particular um iteration of void, this is where we're talking about where we don't even think about it. We accumulate and acquire things to try and fill the void that we
yes,
have in here, sort of thing. um and it's ultimately, it's not conducive. We have to stop and think, what are we
yes.
filling the void with?
So when we talk about the void, we talk about actually a feeling of emptiness, right? Like there's like a pit in our stomach, like we walk around like something is missing, and we can't even put our finger on it. Like something is wrong, something is missing, something especially wrong with me, right? This is how we're walking around in the water. Oh, like everyone is like happy and smiling and they seem fine, they seem like they have their life together, and my life is falling apart and something is wrong with me, and I just experienced, like this, or
Right.
I just experienced rejection or spiritual awakening, I feel alone or whatever. And and especially with the social media, we compare ourselves, and we think that everyone have their life like together and in place, and we are the only one who like have like like, are we like
Hmm.
getting crazy? There's something wrong with us. I'm feeling like a void. I'm feeling like an emptiness. Something is wrong, but no, this is, everyone experience it, like the majority experience it. They just know, a lot of them, I'm not judge, there's no judgment here, right? A lot of us,
Yeah.
we know how to put a facade, to put a show that everything is good, I'm good, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes it's good, but if it's something that it's like you feel it in an ongoing basis, so there's something that needs attention, right? So in this life, we're going to talk about why this feeling comes back again, right? And what can you do to make it go away almost once and for all, right?
Right.
Okay,
So what does the void feel like, Lamore?
yeah, it's not always like sadness. Sometimes you just feel like you are numb. You don't feel anything, right? And you just, I don't know, you feel like a disconnect from others, from yourself. Like, I don't know how to describe it. And a lot of the time, yeah, like if you are going your spiritual awakening, and most likely if you are drawn to this video, to this live, maybe you are going through your spiritual awakening, or you have been in the past. So there are times when you just want to hide under your blanket and you don't want to go out, right? Hi
Yeah,
everyone, good to
this is
see you.
hi. This is where the meme that says I will be hiding in my black blanket fort until further notice
Yeah,
really really applies. But basically it's like you're left feeling like you're wanting
hey, happy New
something.
Year, happy New Year.
Happy New
Sorry.
Year. No worries.
Yes,
Um So there's that, like you covered, it's the sense that something is missing, even if you can't identify exactly what it is that's missing. You know that
right,
there's something that you want. There's something that you need because you feel you have an emptiness on the inside. So when
right.
we're growing up, we're taught when we are, when we're feeling numb, if we're, upset or whatever, we're taught, we need to get things or we need to get fed. Those are, the two big
Yeah,
ones that are like, oh, I'm sorry, you're feeling sad, or you're not feeling, you're feeling like you're missing something, or you're feeling numb or what have you. Let's go shopping. I'll get you a new toy. Kind of kind of thing. So this is where, so I notice, especially over the holiday season, that
mm-hmm.
like people try and fill up this void that they have, that they're feeling, with things, and it's a never ending chase. And this is something that I'm still learning about, because like i'm I don't hoard stuff, but I have stuff, and I keep going
Yeah,
out and going like, "Oh, this is cool. This will make me happy." And it sits there on a shelf and it collects dust, and ultimately I look at it guilty going, "And I've had it and I've done nothing with it."
yeah, and you
So,
know what? The let's go shopping. I admit it, I'm guilty, especially when I was going through my spiritual awakening. Every time I felt like something, I wasn't like feeling well, like emotionally. So you know what? I'm
right.
just going to go to the mall, and then I went to the mall, and then I felt worse, right? Because like if you are an empath, right? If you are an empath, you feel other people energy. So you are not in a like a good energetic place. So you
Space.
go and you
Yes.
soak, yeah, you soak everyone's energy. So you feel worse. So I'm just, oh my God, I'm just going to crawl back into my bed. I don't want to see people. Right? I don't want to see people because, like, I think that in the subconscious level, you know that you're just trying to fill the void with this shopping or whatever, and there is no judgment here. And don't get me wrong, I love them all. I love shopping, but now, like, you can do it like in moderation, and you can do it not as a means to an end, like to fill up some kind of void. You can do it just because you want to enjoy material stuff, and that's perfectly fine, and that's
Yeah.
really awesome.
Yeah.
But when it becomes like a type of an addiction, or a type of a obsession, or a routine that you used to, instead of going inward. So I'm going to tell it like again, like when I was going to spiritual awakening, I had a coach and he told me something that I remember until today. He told me, Limo, instead of going to the mall, go inwards, right? So instead
Right.
of going to the mall, go inwards, and people don't want to do it, and I don't blame them, because we live in a society that they want to shove stuff to you, right? Or they sell you, like when you see the commercial, they don't really sell you the things, they sell you the emotion, that right.
Exactly.
So this is the psychology of the buyer, of the consumers, that you want to go
Marketing.
and buy.
Yeah.
Yes. So what do you think about
So,
it? You requested this live because you noticed this, right, Manny? Especially during
yeah.
Christmas.
Yep, over the holidays sort of thing. So it's nice when somebody thinks enough of you that they want to be able to, pick you up a little something, maybe to make you feel better, or to let you know that they were thinking of you. That's one thing, sort of thing. But the
Yes,
whole getting more things, getting more things, putting yourself in debt for getting more things to let people know how much you think of them, to get you trapped on this
yeah,
endless cycle.
right,
And um it's just, we don't even think about that hamster wheel that we are set on when we are little. We get our mannerisms from our family, our friends, the teachers, like whoever it
Right.
is that we look up to. And
Yes,
it's not just the shopping sort of thing. It's, you know, you can use food, sugar, which is
exactly.
the big one. That one is something I am working on, or comfort habits to
Exactly.
just
Like
try and soothe yourself.
the emotional eating is, oh my God. And it's just, you just feel high for like, I don't know, like 5 minutes. And then you feel low because it start to get addictive to the sugar, right? So you need this like sugar hit, right? So
Exactly.
it's, yeah, and and another, like, before we go into the solution and what you can do about it, there's a lot of distraction, like scrolling on social media, right? Or
Yep.
even money Facebook. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. That's okay. We we don't
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and you know what? And a lot of the time, hearing loud music. Do you know these people? No judgment, of course. That they can't like hear silence. Like they
They
always
can't sit with
hear loud
themselves in quiet.
music.
Yes.
Yeah, or the television is like really high volume with the news or whatever, because they can. You know what? Because what's going to happen if there is not going to be like a distraction or loud music? They will have to listen to their minds, right?
And they're not comfortable with that. We're not taught to sit quietly with ourselves and think.
Yeah, especially when our mind, everyone's mind is programmed to see the negative, to think about, so we want to, to avoid this. We don't want to listen to our self-negative talk, that actually it's not our talk, it's our mind, right? So, and it's not really
Exactly.
our mind, it's their mind. I used to go like their mind. It's just it's just an accessory you get when you get into this physical realm, right? So we start to identify with our mind. So we don't want to hear all the chaos or all the negative thoughts. So we want to numb ourselves with, with sometimes with alcohol, sometimes with shopping, sometimes with whatever, even
This is what
coffee,
we're Yeah, this is what we're trying to fill the void with. So
Yeah,
here's the thing. So it's an interesting exercise. Think back. I mean, a baby, when a baby is born, the babies are perfect. They're a, a soul driving a meat suit. Basically, they get to
yes,
experience, the emotions, the physical inputs, all that sort of thing,
yes,
and they are one whole unit. They are one whole piece. But somewhere along the lines, we get taught that we're we're separate from everything that we want, and everything that'll make us feel better is on the outside of ourselves.
exactly,
When the opposite is true, we need to flip that script. When
exactly,
you're looking to fill the void with stuff, it's not stuff that's going to appease
exactly,
that void. It's where we got separated. So now we need to
exactly.
sit, reconnect. Yes,
So which
sorry.
is saying that he hates that. Yeah, like we all going through those, especially on a if you are on a spiritual journey, right? We're going to feel it from time to time because we like switch identities. Like for me, I feel like I experience many lifetimes in one lifetime. If you know what I'm saying, right? So
Hmm.
I always like feel like I'm a new me, like a new identity of myself. So every time you're going to experience a shift, you're going to experience this like something is wrong, or you're going to experience emptiness or void, or you're going to feel alone, or you're going to you think you're going crazy or whatever, right? So, okay, what Switch is asking, one thing I find different between the US and Norway is in America, malls are extremely noisy, especially the music part. Over here is regulated. Yeah. So you see, like they know like what to do in order for you to buy more, right?
Hmm.
So Yeah, so actually, so okay, so you're feeling those. I'm talking about like if you feel it like in ongoing basis, like this feeling of emptiness, like something is wrong. Just start to pay attention. A lot of the time, this is like the basic is the negative self-talk. Because why do we feel uncomfortable with this feeling of something is wrong or the void or emptiness, right? Because we feel like, because when you really listen, you don't like what you're hearing,
No, you can't
right?
you can't really interpret what you're hearing if you've not been comfortable sitting with yourself and letting yourself get bored.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. Like
this
when
is
you
this is
do
the thing.
hear something,
Mhm.
you don't like it because most of the time it's negative stuff, and most of the time it's things that you're telling yourself that you don't like about yourself, right? Or most of the time it's that you compare yourself to others. So it's basically it's like the negative self-talk, right? But you know what? The good news that we can change it.
Mhm. Yes, we
We
can
can change
decide to
it, and
change it.
yeah, and like I say, like to feel it, to heal it. Like when you have to face it to heal it. So when you feel this, just if you're just going to allow yourself to sit with this emptiness, like I said it many times, when you have emotions that are not welcome, when you don't want to deal with like negative emotions, just start to embrace them and see how fast they will dissipate or they will go away, right? What do you think, Marnie? Have you ever
Definitely.
had this kind of experience?
Mhm. Yes, although so when I grew up, it was in the 70s and 80s sort of
Yes,
thing, and we didn't have social media. Um, you know, we didn't have a lot of screens to stare at. Most homes just had a single TV, you know, up where I lived, and you didn't watch it incessantly. You weren't glued to a screen. You went out and
right,
you read books, you met up with your friends, you rode your bikes everywhere. It was
exactly.
definitely a different time, and that's not to cast dispersion on social media and the people that are growing up used to having the internet and being surrounded by all these things. It's a different stage set. It's the same
Exactly.
type of deal, just a different stage set. So when you're not familiar with the concept of being bored, when you get bored and there's nothing to do, first thing you do is basically grab your phone or you turn on the TV or whatever
Yes,
it was, or the radio. It's a distraction
yes,
because you recognize you're not comfortable with the quiet.
exactly. Exactly. So basically, it's a lack of presence. And you know what? And like this generation, they born into the social media. They like born with with a cell phone in their hand, right? And you know what? But a lot of the time, and of course, what everything we're talking about in this life, it's without judgment. Sometimes just the parents, it's like comfortable for the parents to give like an iPhone or something to the child just to keep them quiet. And a lot of the time the child wants their presence, and like I see like parents with the head on the phone, and the child is just like mommy, they just want their presence, right? So when like the role model or the like your parents and stuff, when they act like this, so you can't really blame the children or the generation, right? Unless, but there are parents that are really like um, taking time to to go outside, to go to the park, to
Hmm.
like
Yep.
the old school stuff, instead of
Yes.
just everyone like sitting on there like with their hands staring at the phone. And sometimes I like to see, like when I go into a waiting room or something, where you're going somewhere, so you see like 10 people waiting, and all of them like with them, like, and I'm saying like literally, like if they're like a naked woman is going to pass by, they're not going to notice. I'm telling you. Yes, like so actually, so that's a lack of presence. you know. So it's like when you feel like a void, or you feel like something is wrong, you don't really want to face it, right? There's something that you don't really want to face because it's unfamiliar. What, me
Yes.
sitting in quiet, what should I do? Like I said, what should I do? It's like it's boring. Oh, you know what, you know. But just so when you feel this, like, just sit with yourself. So instead, this is literally what I was doing when I was going through the dark night of the soul. And when you're in a spiritual path, you're going through that mini dark night of the souls from time to
Mm-hmm.
time. You have like an experience, and then you're like, what, I never like anticipated like that I will go through this kind of experience or negative stuff. And you do from time to time, right?
Yes.
So when you feel those mini spiritual awakening, start to, instead of run away from it, start to face it. And it's like, just we said it few times, it's just like a monster under the bed. You just need to look under the bed and see that there is no monster. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is good. So when you sit with this unfamiliar feeling or emotion, just ask yourself, okay, so what is going through my head? How do I talk to myself?
And we
Do
have
I
to
like,
learn, though, in those spaces, because that's where a lot of the negative self-talk and thoughts can come up. This is like a muscle that we have to learn how to flex. We
exactly.
inherently we think negative thoughts, because if we can survive the negative thoughts, then we can survive anything. That's what our little ego tells us. But really, what we need is to learn to speak to ourselves kindly, and to honor that void and recognize, everything I need to fill that void, that hole that I'm feeling kind of in the soul, sort of thing. Everything I need can be found on the inside. It can be done through meditation and introspection and,
Exactly.
love,
Like for
giving
me,
yourself love.
it's just a little mindfulness practices. Just small practices that start being the observer of your thoughts. So if you're feeling a certain way, just imagine that there's the two of you, right? And just be curious. Oh, okay. Now Limo is experienced this kind of emotion. Yeah, and so just a little mindfulness practices will make all the difference if you do it consistently. Like mindfulness practices, like when you washing your hands, like smell the soap, or pay attention to the water, right? Like touch something, like stare at a tree. You can, meditation, it's not about, you don't have to take time and sit it like you don't have to do it. That's nice. But you can meditate while you are driving. Like when I'm like at a red light, I can stare at the red light, you know so these little practices, they're going to expand your awareness. And when your awareness is going to be like bigger, your thoughts are not going to affect your awareness that much, right? It's like you have like the whole ocean, but a little wave, right? It's not going to influence that much. So just start to do a little mindfulness practices. And telling you, when you, like, after a while, when you start to shift your energy, and then you're going to go to the mall or to sit on a coffee shop or whatever, that experience will be so much richer, and you'll be feeling more fulfilled because you don't do it as a means to an end, you know to to feel good about yourself, or to feel some kind of void. You just do it as an added bonus, right?
Exactly. So sorry, I'm hearing a lot of sirens on your end. So, but I'm
Yeah,
getting what it is that you're
yeah,
saying.
that's a
So,
time. That's a time to be grateful for our health. Like every time I hear silence,
mhm.
okay, I'm going to share with you something. It's not this live topic, but Every time I hear silence, the three things that I'm telling myself: thank you for my health, good news, and a woman is giving birth. Because every time we hear sirens, right, we have like a negative connotation. Like, God forbid, someone is going to die or something happened, right? So
Yeah.
I just give it a different meaning, that it's like an happy event, like a woman is going to give birth, right? So this is what I'm telling myself. So maybe it will help someone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. So another thing that we can do when we feel this feeling of emptiness, of void, start. You can share it with someone, of course. And if you feel alone, because a lot of the time when we feel it, we feel alone, right? And sometimes our own family even don't understand us, or people like they are telling us, "Oh, what is wrong with you?" Or like, we used to do those things, and now we don't really enjoy to do the same things, right?
Which
Because we
makes
change,
sense.
and, yeah, and we evolve. So people are close to us, like telling us, "Oh, what's wrong with you? We used to go there like all the time." Like, and you feel like worse, right? And you just feel you are not on the same level, and you feel like your whole world is falling apart. What? But this is actually, this is a pivotal point. This is the time when you really experience a big shift. Why?
Hmm.
Because
Yes.
think about it. If you are on the same frequency as you always been, so you like, more or less, you like living in harmony with your environment, right? Like, everything is cool, everything is fun, right? So like, ignorance
Yes.
is bliss, not judgment. Actually, that's a good thing. Like, I am telling you, ignorance is really a bliss, right? When you go in, before you go on your spiritual awakening, you just, think that everything is good, I'm good, my life is fine, nothing is wrong. But then you start to learn about, oh my God, you start to be aware of your negative talk, you start to be aware of like all those bad experiences. But think about it, because you can't really be on the same frequency as you always been, and you can't really experience the same experiences, or to be on the same at the same environment with the people or
Hmm.
whatever, if you are not shifting. So when you're shifting, you are no longer a vibrational match to your surrounding. That includes family, friends, or everything, right? Things that you like to do. So you're like, oh my God, something is wrong, something it's not right. But no, you are just shifting, right, to a better reality. And this is what it takes, because you can stay at the same frequency as you always did, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So, so the old life that you had, before you started going through your, the spiritual awakening, it stops fulfilling you before the new one appears. And this was a great point that you made.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're talking about, letting go of the old familiar patterns because they no longer serve you. And so one of the traps that one might fall into is, hey, I started spiritual awakening and I still have this void going on, the same void that I had
Yeah.
before I started this. So is this not the answer? And the thing is that you have to keep going. There's a lot to dig through on that,
Oh my God.
and
Yeah.
you can try filling
Yeah.
it
You
with
know what?
stuff, but you're going to run yourself into debt and run out of space in
Yeah.
your where you live.
Because it's not linear. It's a
No.
spiral. When we evolve, it's a spiral. And especially after, when you're on a spiritual path, after you've gone through your first like spiritual awakening, you say, oh, you know what? Now this is beyond me. I'm good. Like, life is going, like, I'm going to experience only good stuff. Nothing is going to happen. And then, you
Mm.
know, but
Life
yeah,
happens.
and you know what? And you like, I think that I healed that. I've done a lot of healing work, and I still like feel the void. I still feel like nothing is working. I still, it's so, it's a process. It's a process, and especially at the beginning, you're going to experience a lot of high and lows, right? Because you're still not really stable. So you're going to experience a lot of the
Yep.
high and lows. And I forgot this word. Um, like everything is like up and down. How do you say up and down, high and low, right?
Yep. Yep. High and low, ebb and flow. That's the way life
Yes,
is.
yes.
It's
Yeah, so we live in a life of the comedy, right? When you have like two different angles, right?
yes. We live in a duality, basically.
Yeah,
And for
duality.
anybody not
Yes,
familiar with that, look it up. Google it. It's a very, very interesting thing. So
yes.
so
So
we're talking
so
about like sorry, go ahead.
go ahead, go
Oh, I
ahead.
was gonna say, so when you actually catch yourself and you're feeling that emptiness, if you quiet and you actually sit, be in the moment, address, look within. It's like when you sit with the void, the emotions that you've built up, they begin to surface like kind of a little gently, as opposed to being spurred on by a traumatic event where they can just overwhelm you all at once. And you'll find actually that you do find relief in allowing yourself to feel when you're being quiet,
Exactly.
allowing yourself to feel.
So just allow yourself to face it instead of running away from it, because when we run away, actually we are anchoring in. We are never going to get rid of this emotion if we're going to keep running away from it,
Yes.
right? So we don't want to face it, so we want to run away, and then we look for things to fill this void, right? So but the paradox is when you're going to face it, it's going to disappear, right? Because, like I said, with our negative emotions, they just want acknowledgement, right? They just want acknowledge, because when you shed, and you don't have to do anything, even you don't have to do anything, because when you shed the light of your awareness, the darkness disappear. When you enter a dark room, and when you switch on the light, what happens?
No, the darkness goes away.
Exactly. And you don't even know why, right? You don't have to know how the electricity works or whatever. You just know. You
Yeah.
just know when you light, right? When you switch on the light, so the dark is going to go away. So you have to switch on the light of your awareness, and you switch on the light of your awareness by facing those emotions, but by not trying to run away from those emotions, or from the uncomfortable feeling, right?
Yep.
That you
And that's the
experience,
big thing. We feel a lot of discomfort. We're uncomfortable with
right?
with having that void. We're uncomfortable with not having noise. We're uncomfortable with not having distractions. And when you get to this point in your spiritual journey and your awakening, when you're actually being an observer and you're looking at your biases, at where your thoughts come from, at where the discomfort is, sort of thing, like this is a major shift of power. Yep.
Right.
Photons fill the space. We're going back, along with spiritual awakening, there's also some really interesting things like, the quantum entanglement, quantum realities, quantum mechanics. Like there's
Yes.
there's amazing things out there. It's not just a surface level deal. um but another thing that you were saying could help is journaling, um to express the feelings that you might be avoiding.
Exactly. And even start to talk to yourself. When I
Hmm.
say like yourself, it's like God, or yourself, and start to express and let all those emotions out, right? And if you feel alone, like, because people are not going to understand you, there's like a lot of like even like people online or coaches or videos or books or whatever, someone that you resonate with, and this is going to be your anchor. Like when I was going through my spiritual awakening, and still is, my anchor was the book The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I'm telling you, just to hear him speak, like he speak in such a calm, relaxing voice, right?
Yes.
So this is, I'm telling you, this is was my medicine. Like, so if there's something small that really you feel resonate with, so hang, you should hold on to it and let this be your anchor, right? Instead of running away, because you are not the first one who experienced those experiences. That a lot of people that have experiences, so they can do things to help you, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about healthier way to fill the void, right? Healthier way.
Yeah.
You can go to nature, right? Because nature
That's a
has a
big
high
one.
frequency. That's why when we go to nature, we feel better, because nature by itself has a high frequency, right? So
It
go
does.
to nature, go ground yourself, right? I do it like once a week, ground yourself, like stand barefoot on a grass or on a, and
Yes.
and I'm also, I admit it, I hug trees. Yes, yes. I do it like after I'm grounding. So go to nature, right? So listen to calming music, like even like a meditation music. Like if there's like a certain music that makes you feel calm, so do it. There's like, if you can't sit with yourself a lot of, for a long time, I admit it. I also like sometimes impatient. So I'm listening to 5 minute meditation like daily. It's only 5 minutes. You can squeeze in like 5 minute meditation, right? So
Yes.
those little things are healthier things to make you feel better, right? And when you start to embrace it, and even like to just look at this like feeling void or emptiness, look at it as your friend. Yeah, I know it's like it's not conventional what it just said, but look at it as your friend. And when you start to be friends with this part of yourself, because this is just a part of yourself that wants acknowledgement, right? So when you
Exactly.
start to be friends with the darkness inside of you, with this is true acceptance, because you don't have just to accept the cool stuff about you, right? All the positive stuff, all the things that you like. You have to embrace also the not so cool stuff, the shadow aspects, the things that you
Mhm.
don't really proud talking about, but this
Yep.
is a part of you. And there's like a feeling of of guilt and shame sometimes, right? Because maybe we behave a certain way, and now we're becoming aware. So embrace all part of yourselves, right? And start to forgive yourself, because if you added, in a different if you acted differently in the past, right, in a way that you don't really proud of, just tell yourself and remind yourself that this is what's your level of consciousness at the time. And
Yep.
now you grow and evolve, and you are no longer this person. How do you know that you are no longer this person? Because now you can observe it and you can see it, right?
So when we know better, we do better.
Exactly. So just recognize it's, and I've noticed that there's a lot of people that have like guilt and shame around things that they done or they acted a certain way. But we have to love all part of ourselves.
It's all a part of who we are. It's who we became. It's our life experiences.
Exactly.
It's the result of inner conversations that we had with ourselves without knowing what we were doing. Right?
Exactly. And
So again, when we know
even
better, we do better.
yeah, and even up to that, even if I like can act sometimes in, we call it unconsciousness, or without awareness, I'm just, telling myself afterwards, you know what, Lemore, I start laughing. That's okay. Like, yeah.
Yep.
So, of course, it's a good thing to have awareness, but don't beat yourself up, or don't feel shame or guilt, or think that something wrong with you because you acted a certain way, right? And don't think that the grass is greener on the other side, because they see people a lot of the time it's just an act that everything is good and cool, but they're having their own like issues and stuff, right? So just
Exactly.
be grateful and thankful. Hi everyone. Be thankful for your own journey, right?
Yes.
And be grateful also for the shadow aspects of yourself, right? And of course,
Yeah.
we always want to improve ourselves. We always want to, like you said, to do better, right? But don't do
Yep.
it from a place of I'm broken, something is wrong with me. Do it from a place I'm all and complete as I am, and also I want to evolve and grow, right? And learn. So this is like the perfect blueprint. Accept
Yes.
yourself as you are, be present with yourself and with those emotions. Become friends with them. Embrace the shadow aspect of yourself. And you see the difference. I'm telling you.
Exactly. Exactly. It's all good stuff. It's all a journey.
Yes.
We are all every single day we are works in progress. We
Yes.
are we are messy masterpieces
Exactly.
in the works.
So, money, last word. Excuse me.
Yep.
Yes. Final word.
Oh, this is just I believe this particular subject, I mean, as all of the ones that we talk about, this is particularly timely, because again, people will have gotten through the holiday season, will have, received gifts and are sitting with these gifts, and they still feel the same way inside. Um, so it's honestly like, yes, it's wonderful to receive gifts, it's wonderful to give gifts, it's wonderful to get gifts for yourself, sort of thing.
Yes.
Everything, it's good in moderation, but when you're using exterior validations and things to try and plug up this void that you've got on the inside, ultimately you're going to be stuck on a loop, you're going to be stuck on a
Yes.
cycle until you make a different choice.
Yes. So
So
ask yourself one point. Ask yourself, how would it make you feel to do all those things like shopping and stuff from a place of wholeness?
yes.
Just ask yourself. It's like, it's like I said, it's not just an added bonus. It's just it's
Right.
something that you feel, so then you're going to feel like true fulfillment, and the joy that you can have from acquiring things and stuff, right? If you do it from a place of wholeness and not trying to fill up some kind of void. So be your own best friend. Sit with these emotions, be present with them, become friends with them. And this is actually what will make the shadow aspect of yourself. This is like an integration with the shadow of the and the light inside of you. You have to integrate those stuff. You can't be just all joyful and everything is sunshine and rainbows all the time, right? But we
Hmm.
also can't reject those shadow aspects of ourselves. We have to make peace with them and to integrate them. And this is the integration phase, right?
Exactly. So I hope that helps everybody out there,
Yeah.
just get them thinking a little differently, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. So everything it's not permanent. When you experience, it's not permanent. Just sit with those emotions, and you see how fast. I promise you, how fast they will subside, and you're going to feel so much better in time. It's a process. Be patient.
Thank
Okay.
you for sharing that thought, Lamore. Now, for anybody else out there who likes what it is that she's saying, she does offer a free 30-minute clarity call. She doesn't always mention it, but I want to make sure it's there. Go ahead, Lamore.
Yeah. You can apply using the link below. Yes. So I hope, thank you everyone for being on this live, for engaging in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, feel free to ask your question in the comments. We're so grateful to have you here every Wednesday.
Yes.
And thank you very much. Thank you, Marnie. We appreciate you
Thanks,
so much.
Lamore. Let's do our heart. Back it up.
Yes.
Back it up. There we go.
Perfect.
Ta-da!
Love you guys. Thank you. Have a wonderful
Mwah.
day. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.